what it do?
You are now keying in.
Keying in with the one and only Kiki Simone as she lock in with the dopest
Christian hip hop,
gospel and inspirational artists from all over. Bringing you the dopest, exclusive interviews that you get here and only here first. Powered by yours truly.
Live Loud Legacy.
And Visionary Vision.
Qui'N In. What's up? It's your girl Kiki Simone. Welcome to Qui'N In. On this show, what you will get is the opportunity for you to hear some conversations that I'm going to have with a creative artist, entrepreneur, and also you will also get the opportunity to hear a little bit more about kingdom character from someone that I really, really enjoy and love listening to. So without further ado, I am going to introduce to some, present to others. I know that kind of sound churchy a little bit. Dee Black, how you doing, sir?
Good, great to be here for sure. With
you sure?
Yes,
positive.
I'm sure. I'm very
You looking like you just doing really well, sir.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but I'm trying to take care of myself, be more.
That's
healthy.
good.
Yeah.
That's really good. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But I want to let everyone know, like, you're a husband, you're a father, you are an entrepreneur, you are youth pastor, right?
Yeah.
Or a pastor?
Yeah.
Which one?
Call it a student pastor, but
A student pastor. Okay, I never heard that before.
Yeah, me either. Until I became one. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that and allow our viewers to get to know you a little bit behind the scenes. But I hear a little bit of an accent. From the first time I met you, I was just like, he's from somewhere up north. So where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore, but if I say it like I'm from Baltimore.
Okay.
That's the accent, Baltimore. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like it out? Did you like it out there?
No.
Did you not? Oh, okay.
That's why I'm here. No.
Okay.
I mean, I love my hometown, but as far as opportunity for my kids and just it's a really crime, ridden place.
I love your accent though. I gotta get back to this accent because I could hear it.
So that's funny because I have it, but if you hear other people, it's way deeper. Like mine isn't as strong as most
Okay.
people. Yeah.
So you've been like that person that's been like, oh my goodness, like I know I got an accent, but you really got an accent.
Oh no, I hear it. Like you, chew,
yes,
shoe, like the W on the end of everything. People make fun of that all the time, and I do
know.
it sometimes though. Yeah.
I hear like sometimes when you're talking to my husband, he might sometimes have you on speaker. I'm just like, yeah, he from up north for real. So
you hear it? Oh man, I gotta stop talking to him.
No, please don't. It don't be nothing personal. But now what I will say, just from talking to you, and overhearing conversations, you have so much wisdom. And I think that the wisdom that you bring, that you have, is meant for so many people, which you're like you're a mentor, you're a friend, I'm pretty sure. And as you stated, you're a student pastor. Let me make sure I say that right. How important is having that wisdom? Like, how did that even come about? Was that like trial and error? Was that more so just people telling you, hey, you should do this or you shouldn't do that, and you just followed it? Like, how did that wisdom come about?
From God, for sure. The wisdom I think now that I have is definitely from God. And then when you talk about making a lot of mistakes as a young man I would say from 13 up till maybe 20 years old, I lived a life 10 times faster than most people. So by the time I was 21, I was married at 23. I had done so much and learned so much and saw so much that I kind of lean on some of those experiences that I've gone through, and then having God and getting him kind of, put me in another position as far as the wisdom goes.
Okay, so that's a long span before you got married. You said you got married at 23, so you gained a lot of wisdom because you went through a lot of stuff.
I screwed up.
Okay.
Like I messed up a lot. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of wrong things, and I had to learn the hard way. You get what I'm saying? So me learning through those mistakes taught me never to do it again.
Right.
One. And then for two, going through it and having those mistakes kind of shaped my faith. It kind of shaped my, my outlook and seeing what direction to go in life, pretty much.
Okay, got you on that. So I gotta ask you this because I'm a little intrigued with that time before you got married, just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
On your project, which I absolutely love, I definitely put in my top 5 albums of last year.
Oh, man.
The Gospel According To. If y'all haven't got it, make sure y'all go out there and go get that project because yeah, it's on my top 5 of 2022. It was 2022, right?
Was it?
I think so.
It's bad. I don't even know.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2022. Yeah.
Okay, well, y'all make sure y'all go get it. That EP is so dope. I'm just saying. And you actually talk about, well, I don't know if it was before you got married or not, but where you came into contact with someone who put a gun to your head, and it was at that moment you just started praying to God, like, walk us through what happened. I know you owed some people, but you know.
So, believe it or not, that story, it was a mixture of things. If you listen to the song, so I kind of was telling the story about some things that I went through. I didn't give the full detail because I never like giving full details.
Okay.
But I was trying to show, it was a microcosm of basically what happens when you accepted Christ and when he came into your life. So it was basically telling the story of salvation. But there was a situation where, I didn't owe anyone because I never really ever owed anybody anything.
Okay.
But there were situations where I have had guns put to my head and I had to make a decision at that point in time, like what I was going to do and what move I was going to make. And thank God, like, I was able to walk away from them situations for sure.
Like, I only know one other person that has happened to, and even to this day, I still don't even really know, like, what actually happened, like, and it happened to be my dad. He actually told me that someone put a gun to his head, and they said, don't never come back here again. So, like, for God to be able to do that, like, that's crazy. Like, that's really amazing.
Oh, yeah. The guys who did it, who actually they had actually probably killed like 2 or 3 people prior to it. So the guy told him to shoot me and the gun didn't go off. So I ran.
Wow.
When he was trying to get it, and I took off, but later
you was on the track team that day, huh?
Yeah, I was dumb. and they called me in. The cops came over a situation. The crazy part is the cops came to talk to me because they caught the guy, and the guy said that he was afraid of his life from me. I was like, wait, what? But anyway, I had to go in and talk to the cops, and they were like, yeah, man, he had shot like 4 or 5 people. The other guy he was with had shot like 2 or 3 people. So they were gonna kill you. And
wow,
like, man. So that was
all God.
Yeah, all God.
That was all God.
Yeah.
Well, I want to kind of transition just a little bit. Now you have the life that you have. You have, your family time, your personal time. As you just stated, really trying to take care of yourself. And then, you have your church and, you have responsibilities. How do you kind of balance that out? How does that really?
For me, me and my wife both used to be really big on the word balance, right? And what I've learned is, truth be told, there really is no balance. It's like I put priority at top, right? God first, family, ministry, and everything else falls under that.
Right.
And I put most of my attention into God. And everything else kind of starts to fall into place. It's like we have those conversations where I talk to my wife and I'm like, I got a lot going on. Let me get in my word. Let me pray more. Let me do this. And things start to balance out themselves because it's like I put God first. And then, of course, my family next. And they're a part of everything that I do in ministry.
Right.
So it makes it kind of easy to kind of do all of that because they're there right there with me. My kids are a part of my ministry, so I'm pastoring them as well. My wife is helping in the ministry. She's one of the leaders in there. So we're always together, and it kind of makes it easy.
Well, that's really dope, the fact that y'all work together, like in ministry and things like that. And shout out to your beautiful wife. Just FYI, who is in the audience right now? I'm just saying, shout out to you.
Yes, beautiful wife. I can't let her outdo me. Yes, to my beautiful wife.
Now, I want to really talk about something that is you're a man's man. That's what I believe that you are.
Man, I appreciate it. You who paid you like you saying all the right things. All right.
All of them. I wanted to ask you, because you do connect with so many artists and you are in CHH in the Christian hip hop arena. I wanted to ask you, what does it look like when you're the person that's there for so many people in different facets, but then when you need that same support, like how does that work? Do you have a circle that helps you? Because from the outside looking in, you're the helper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say rescuer, but you're the one people go to. So what does that look like for you to be the recipient of that?
It's crazy because I had a hard time actually accepting being that. So I had to learn how to be a person that also receive blessings and give. But thank God, all my life, it's been a position where because of me giving so much, God has always supplied. So it's like, it can become selfish. Like I give because I know God gonna supply. Oh yeah, here you go. Let me get rid of this so God can keep filling my cup. So I think from a position of I would say emotionally and spiritually, I do have people that I reach out. People like your husband that I talk to. We have conversations where we can talk for 2 hours. Like we gotta stay in touch, or we'll have a 2, 3, 4, 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours. I know this,
like,
y'all, personally,
literally,
okay?
Literally, and God will be speaking in the midst of it. And I can say something to him that is for him, but it's for me at the same time. Like, I'm telling him, bro, I'm getting ministered to, thinking I'm ministering to you. Or he says something, he's like, D, you need, and I'm like, wow. So I do have those relationships. I don't have a lot of those, though. I really don't. And I'm okay with it. I really am, because it's just the way God wired me, you know what I mean? And he's always supplied everything, so.
And that's really good to hear, because a lot of times, we had someone on the show before, TK Lee, as a matter of fact, and we talked about that just a little bit from a female's perspective. And definitely, I know you to be a person that a lot of people go to, and it seems like you know everybody in CHH. You know everybody.
I don't know if it's good or bad.
You know everybody. And I want to ask, this is kind of like a personal question. Going back to your childhood, like, did you grow up in a house where it was just like, okay, whatever goes on here stays here? So you just really kind of didn't share a lot with people? And, if so, do you think that kind of took some toll on you in your adult life?
I would say my mom, she was pretty, and she still is, like a private person. She doesn't even like me posting her picture on
oh wow
Facebook. Like, yeah, we just got over that because I did it twice. And, but she's always been a private person. Me more so. I was always private too. I didn't really. And then coming from, I'm old, right? So I come from a place where we didn't even have the internet, right? So we didn't post everything. We didn't know what was going on in our lives, and that kind of helped develop relationships and have that closeness with people who. So I think it did affect me, even to now. Also, just having a kind of a street background, it was like you move in a certain way where you don't put up everything you do. That's why all these dudes going to jail now. Like, FBI just watching Facebook and Instagram.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so it was like, that was one of those things. You move in silence, you don't do a certain thing. And it did, I think, as I got older and, got into adulthood, it kind of got me in that place where I don't share a lot, but God literally broke me down a lot of times in that. And with people that I'm close to, I will share everything. And then the other day, I ministered to some kids, and the guy who runs the center there was like, bro, that was so real. You just said everything. And I'm like, that took a long time to get there. Like, for me to get to that point where I'm willing to just be open and make sure that none of those cases can be pending. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make sure that, you want to share everything, but you want to share
everything.
Like,
yeah.
Man, so, yeah.
Okay. So, because right now we're in a culture where people, they're keeping stuff to themselves, and it's causing, mental issues and things of that nature. And what we can do to prevent that, a lot of people feel better, getting it out, but they just don't, because at home we say, you know, whatever goes on in this house stays in this house, and don't talk to nobody about what's going on. And the person that's saying it could be the person that actually is causing, you know, the trauma. So I think it is a conversation that we need to have, and it's dope to hear that, you know, as an adult, you finally have gotten to that place where you feel comfortable and safe to be able to do it to some degree without it coming back to haunt you.
It probably, I don't know if the last one might, because I was saying something to the young people and I was just like, you know, it's still some parts of me God is working on. I'm like, I still have this little violent part in me of if somebody was to bother like my wife or any female in here, and I'm like, you know, the bishop is in there, like he knows me, he would have to intervene because I'll pray for them afterwards. Like, and the kids were like, oh. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, man, he'll kill us. Like, and I'm like, no, I don't mean like that. But I realized, like I said, depending on what you say and sometimes exposing who you are, people are not used to that.
That's
They're
true.
like, oh, he a pastor. He don't, and like, nah, I'll tell you my flaws, my faults. I ain't perfect. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I literally just watched the movie today, and I was crying. My husband can attest to this. The movie is on, I don't know if I can say it on here, but it's on the Christian station.
Okay.
And basically, in the movie, it was a pastor who, you know, his son ended up getting killed, and he wanted revenge. He wanted something to happen, but then someone else, on the other hand, needed the heart from his son. And so because of that, you know, he was struggling. He was like, I don't want to take my son's heart out and give it to someone. Like, why would God do this? And it just, as you were just talking and sharing, like how you're sharing with your kids at the church, it's literally like, yeah, it doesn't matter what title you have. We're all dealing with something. Yeah. And so that's definitely difficult. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Yeah. God's going to help us all of us, even you that's watching as well. Now, I want to ask you a question that I don't know if you gonna really know the real answer. We can find out after this is over. So let's say if your wife were to write a book about you, what would the title of that book be?
I know it.
Oh, you know it? Okay.
He was crazy. That's the title. One of my favorite quotes. Like, yeah, he was crazy. Like, that might be that, or subtitle, I'm still alive. Like, I made it through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, for her. That's not about me. She's like, I survived this man.
She survived?
Yes,
okay.
'cause we've been from high school. So
okay.
She's known me all my life pretty much. So.
Yes. And just FYI, she's a great nurse. And she does so much in their community. What's the name? The Behavior. So Haven. Make sure y'all go out there and y'all support the Behaven. And it's Tia White, okay, y'all. She's beautiful. Look her up. She is awesome. And
don't be looking her up though. I know y'all.
Right, that part. I'm with him on that part. Now I did look you up. Okay. You know, I did some research on you, Mr. Dee Black. And there was a post that you actually put up. That you said, and let me make sure I quote it right. You said, "Look for the verb in the word." Do you remember posting that?
I do. That's one of my favorite quotes. Yeah.
I was just like, when I read that, I was like, okay, what is he saying? And so you said, seek, pray, endure, trust, love, believe, watch, etc. So when I've come into the more of a desire to want to study the word as of late. And when you said look for the verb, it says action. Like, it's action in it. So is that what you meant? Yes. Is that, tell us, you know, from your perspective, you know, your reason for that being one of your favorite quotes.
Yeah, for me, even in studying a lot of times, you know, being somebody who preaches, a lot of times we study to give the word. For me, I gotta have it for myself. So ultimately, a lot of times when I study, I'm looking for what God wants from me. Like, a lot of times people are looking like for what they can get from God. And I'm like, okay, if I want something from God, let me go see what it is he wants from me. So he'll say in his word, seek the, seek the kingdom and all
Right.
that, watch and pray. It'll literally be something that he requires from us to do. And sometimes we just gloss over. He'd be like, man, God is going to bless me with this. But it says trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. All your ways acknowledge him. And it says turn. And then you talk about other things. Turn from your wicked ways. There's certain words that God is telling you to do. And we're like, nah, he ain't say none of that. He just said, I'm going to receive whatever it is that I want. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's what I meant specifically about, action.
And I think that's so really good because now when I get ready to study, I'm gonna be looking for those action words. I'm gonna look for those verbs.
Yeah.
And the way that you said it was so dope because I'm like, okay, that's a bar right there.
I think I put that in a song before.
Oh, you did?
I think I did. Yeah.
Okay, so I should rap it too. No, we ain't gonna do that. Now you have longevity in CHH. That, at least to my knowledge, you do. What's something that that you can say like, hey, I'm doing this to either stay relevant? I don't want to say current because current is different from being relevant.
Right.
What's something that you do to stay relevant, in this industry?
Consistency. That's it. Like, I think since 2010, I've put out music consistently. I haven't been consistent with the marketing and the promotion of it because I've been intentional about sometimes being grassroots and staying not in the public eye so much as going to the people. But I've always dropped music. But I also pay attention to the young people.
Okay.
As we get older, a lot of times we're like, bro, I do this for me. Like, I don't care if they like it or not. And I'm like, nah, bro, I wanna know because I'm trying to reach certain people, demographics or age groups, or and I have a consistent, intentional thought in it. Like I go to God, what do you want me to do on this?
Right.
Who is this project for? So I'll reach out to young people. I listen to them. I ask them their feedback and stuff like that. So stay current within what's going on in the industry and stay consistent with the content and with the music.
That's dope because I've never heard anyone say, hey, I'm gonna go to the younger generation to see if they like this or anything like that. So I think that's wise.
Oh, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
They don't care whether you go to them.
That's very wise.
Yeah.
Now, I have one more question to ask you or one more thing to ask. If you could leave something with our viewers, what's something that you would want them to, have an outlook on life or motivate them or inspire them? What's something you can share with our viewers?
I would say since the pandemic, right, like, that wasn't that long ago.
Right.
That was like a couple years back, and we saw the world shut down, right? And the one thing that I've noticed, I noticed a lot of churches didn't open back up or businesses and all of these different things, but I noticed a lot of people go back to business as usual. You know what I mean? They went back to, God is secondary. They went back to, whatever this is. It like they forgot that life was stopped for a second, right? So what I would encourage anybody out there to do is, just take a look at your life right now, sit down and think about what happened and how you were thinking when that happened in 22, because everybody was about God.
True.
At that moment, it's like, bro, we're going to die tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Start thinking like that every day.
That's
Start
good.
thinking every day, like, could I die tomorrow? Could this world end tomorrow? Could it shut down tomorrow? Could I be without a job tomorrow? Could my loved one die tomorrow? Right? Like, if we start having that consistent thought, that consistent mindset, then you'll start living for God. You'll start doing the things that you put off. You'll stop procrastinating. You know what I mean? You're going to live in a manner where it's always consistent with that thought.
That's so good. I never thought of it from that perspective. The closest thing I can say I would have thought is when, in the church they say, Jesus is coming.
Oh, yeah.
So
that was the closest.
That was it.
I guess it's the closest you can get. Is like, wait, the world shut down? Like nothing is happening anywhere in the world. Like it's one thing, the city, the state, no, the world. You know what I mean?
The whole world.
I mean,
shut
if
down.
God didn't get your attention through that, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Wow.
What he got to do to get your attention?
Now we hope it gets y'all attention. Okay, take heed to what Dee Black is saying. Thank you so much, Dee, for coming and spending some time, and we just appreciate you and we love you. But before we get out of here, can you give us your handles for all your social media?
Sure. You got Instagram is at Dee Black Music. You got Facebook, Dee Black Music. You got YouTube, Dee Black Video. And you can also get me on my website at dblack.com.
Okay. So I truly appreciate that. Oh, y'all make sure y'all actually follow us too at LOL with Kiki Simone. That's QUISYMONE. And that's on YouTube, that's on Instagram, and that is on, I think that's all we got, y'all. But follow us, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. And Dee Black, I don't know. I just feel like I want to talk to you some more, but
it's kind of, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of feeling weird because you family. So I'm just being formal with you is like, this is weird.
I know,
like, I just
right?
Be like, let me talk to you real quick. Like, yeah, it's weird.
But it's all good though. I'm really appreciative of your time, and hopefully we can get you back if it may not be in person, but preferably we can get you and your wife on, because that would be really dope. I'm really looking forward to having both of y'all. And Tia, if you are watching, which I kind of know she already inside of the in the audience here, but Tia, if you are watching, I would love to have an interview with you as well, for all of the women that are in the background of the men that are in the forefront. I think that's dope, and we're actually gonna do a series like that with the women, the wives, should I say, of CHH artists. So I think that's pretty dope. But until next time, y'all, we'll holla.